Hi guys, Rachybop here and welcome to Siri Sunday. Today I'm going to go through some Siri commands. As we know from previous episodes and general life experience, Siri can be a bit silly, but Siri also has some actual functional commands, and that's what I'm going to go through today. I know, boring. First let's get Siri up, so. Hi Siri.
Hi there, Princess.
So one thing you could do is make a phone call. So you can press the Siri button and ask it to call. Call home.
Which home?
Home.
Calling home.
So as long as you have that named person in your phone book, it will call them. And if you don't, you can just say a number. You could say call and then the phone number, and Siri will call that number. If you have GPS enabled on your phone, you can also just ask Siri to call, say, Argos, which is a store we have here, and it will call your nearest store, dependent on your location. This also works for FaceTime, so you can have Siri call anyone who you can FaceTime. So this is people on iPhones in your phone book, and you can say FaceTime so-and-so, and you will then be attempted to connect. You can also use Siri to launch apps on your iPhone, so let's try that. Launch settings. There we go. Another thing you can do is text with Siri. So there's a few ways we can do this, but I'll just show you one of them and talk you through the others. So we can say, tell Ryan I love you.
Ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, I'll send it.
Done. You have to remember to switch up the tense a little bit, because Siri won't translate that, so you can't say tell Ryan I love him, because he'll get a message saying I love him and things could go drastically wrong. You could also say send a text to Ryan, and then it'll ask you what do you want to send. We can also add things to our calendar by saying these things in this kind of sequence. Add Simmer's meetup to my calendar on the 24th of May.
What time is your meeting?
12.
Okay, I can create your meeting. Note that you already have a meeting about UK Sims gathering at 12 o'clock. Shall I schedule it anyway?
No.
To continue, you can confirm, cancel, change the time, or change the title.
Cancel.
Okay then, I won't create the event.
Okay, so as you can see, I've already got the Simmers meetup in there, so I could change it, I could add it in, but that's synced up from my Facebook, so that's really cool anyway. But it also showed you that you could change the time, you could change the title if he hasn't heard you right, like he didn't hear me right. And it's all done just talking to Siri. You will notice if you say want to add something that you're doing with someone, you always want to say add to calendar before you start saying anything, rather than schedule a meeting with or whatever you want to say with that person, because it will find that person in your contacts and email them. So let me just show you. Schedule a meeting with Ryan at 2 p.m.
Okay, I can create your meeting. Note that you already have 2 meetings that overlap with... Alright, Princess, I'll leave it off your calendar.
Good. So if you say that, they will, not only will it be added to your calendar, but they will get an email. When you have things set up in your calendar, you can ask Siri how your week looks. What does my week look like?
You have a couple of events between today and Sunday.
Yeah, I don't really use my calendar very much. Now in the UK we can use it for sport scores. We couldn't before, but we can now. So how did Liverpool FC do recently?
Checking out Liverpool. Okay, Princess, here's the rundown on Liverpool.
So that's pretty awesome. It's not really giving us anything about their previous matches, but it gives you a little bit of info. So let's try this. Did Liverpool win their last game?
Sorry, Princess, I don't see any scheduled Liverpool games or scores for that request.
So we're still behind in the UK with that one. You can also ask Siri for driving directions. This is really cool if you don't have a GPS in your car. Give me directions to London.
Getting directions to London.
And it will go through each part of your journey with you. Unfortunately, it does use Apple Maps, which can be a bit of a step back. If you have your home address saved in your contacts for yourself, you can ask Siri to give you the directions to go home, or if you have your friends and family's addresses in there, that can also work in the same way. You can also post to Facebook and Twitter. I'll show you Twitter. Create a tweet. My April favourites video will be up later today.
Here's your tweet. Ready to send it?
Cancel.
Okay.
Airport. Create a tweet. My April favourites video will be up later today.
Here's your tweet. Ready to send it?
Send.
Done.
And if we go into Twitter, we'll see that that's been posted. Boom. Also, if you use an app called OpenTable, which I do not, you can book a table. You can just say book a table for 4 at this restaurant, and Siri will use the app to see if it's available. It's a similar thing with movies. What movies are playing near me?
I found a few films playing today, but they're quite far from Bollington.
He means Bridlington. Oh, it's only showing the whole cinemas. Let me just see. We do have a cinema here in Brid, but it doesn't seem to be showing the results for that. You can also play movie trailers. Play the movie trailer for Maleficent.
I don't see any cinemas playing Maleficent nearby.
Play the trailer for Maleficent.
Trailer coming up.
You gotta admit, that is pretty freaking awesome. You can also find out info about famous people. So we can say, how old is Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp is 50.
You can also use Siri to play music, so play Duran Duran.
Playing Duran Duran. Shuffle.
You can use Siri to play playlists, artists. You can just play music in general. Personally, I use Spotify and don't have much music actually downloaded to my phone, so it's quite restricting. But I can use Siri to open Spotify. Open Spotify.
You don't seem to have an app named Spotify.
Open Spotify.
You don't seem to have an app named Spotify.
Do you know what? Launch Spotify. For some reason it started playing my music again. Something else you can do is set reminders. So you can say, remind me at 1 p.m. to check the mail.
Here's your reminder for today at 1300 hours. Shall I create it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll remind you.
Another really cool thing you can do, if you have addresses set into your phone, you can say, remind me next time I go to my grandma's to, I don't know, whatever you're gonna do there. But you could have, like, if you set locations for town, for home, for school, whatever, you can say, next time I go to school, remind me to tell so-and-so this. You can also use Siri to send emails, so send an email to Ryan saying, I'm testing out Siri. He's the guinea pig for today. Ryan.
Which Ryan?
Ryan.
Which Ryan?
This could go on a long time.
What would you like me to put in your email?
I'm testing out Siri.
Here's your message to Ryan. Ready to send it?
Yes.
Okay, princess, I'll send it.
Thanks. You can also use him to check the weather. What's the weather like this week?
Okay, here's the weather for this week.
Let me guess. Rain. You can also use Siri to check stocks. Again, not something I do. How are Apple's stocks looking?
Checking on that stock. Apple was up 0.24% yesterday, trading at $591
You can also set an alarm on your phone. So, and you can do it for standard every day. So, wake me up at 7 o'clock every day.
I've set an alarm for 7 o'clock starting tomorrow.
You could also just do it individually. One function that I do use a lot with Siri is this one. Set my timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
I use that a lot when I'm cooking. I find it really handy. You can also cancel it. Cancel my timer.
Okay, I stopped the timer and reset it to 10 minutes.
You can also tell Siri who people are in your contacts, and this will help when you want to like message your sister or your boyfriend or anyone like that who you have saved as their actual name. Then Siri will know that they're your sister or your boyfriend. So, Ryan is my boyfriend.
Which Ryan?
I'm gonna press
Okay,
it.
do you want me to remember that Ryan is your boyfriend?
Yes. Yes. You can also use your notepad using Siri by saying, note that I make a lot of lists. Siri, note that I make a lot of lists. Siri, are you here? Oh my god. Just scratch that one.
Got it.
I make a lot of lists, Siri. Note that I make a lot of lists, Siri. Are you here? Make up. You can also use Siri to access different settings. For example, turn on Bluetooth.
Okay, I turned on Bluetooth.
Lovely. You can turn it off. And you can use Siri to search the web. Search the web for Rachybop.
Okay, I found this on the web.
You can also use Siri to ask actual questions. So you can use him on crosswords to find crossword answers. You could use him to convert things. I find that one really handy. Maybe it's monetary conversion, maybe it's weight conversion, all sorts of things. How many ounces in a pound?
Let me check that. 1 pound converts to 16 ounces.
And obviously you can give people nicknames, including yourself. You'll notice that Siri calls me Princess because I've told him to refer to me as Princess Rachybop. So when I say, "Hi Siri,"
Hi.
he calls me Princess. He didn't that time, but you'll notice that at the beginning of the video. Okay, so that's it for my Siri commands video, and thanks to the Mac Guru who this was inspired by. I'll put a link to his video in the comments, and please go watch that because his version is obviously American, so he's got American Siri and he gets much more advanced answers in certain things like sports. But I thought it would be interesting to do kind of parallel video with the UK Siri, and I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe learnt a few things to do with your iPhones. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as always, and like and share this video with your friends and your enemies, people on Facebook, etc. And subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!